It's been a minute now since the Demon Slayer movie came out, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people have watched it, or if you haven't, just watch the movie. But the time when I went to go watch the movie was a weird time for me, because I decided that I was gonna watch the movie at an odd time where basically no one was there, and as I was watching this movie, two words really stuck out with me. I felt that there was so much effort going in within this movie. I mean, the animation was pretty incredible. That is to be expected from Demon Slayer, that's just what they do. But also, I noticed how when I was watching the fights, you could actually feel the characters' efforts. And that got me thinking, the thing about Demon Slayer that a lot of people want to highlight is that it's just this cinematic show. It's just this anime that has no substance, but it's just filled with bright lights and awesome animation. But that's not true, because the second word that I left that situation with was conviction and will. Well, that's more than two, but you get what I'm saying. Because when I was watching these fights and these characters talk, you could feel their will. And the thing about watching these characters fight within the movie is that you realize something that is deeper than what you see on the surface. And oftentimes that is what dictates who will win the fight, most of the time. Because the thing about Demon Slayer that I feel like a lot of people fail to understand is that this is an anime that really discusses will, desire, and conviction. When you look at the people who have become demons and those who have become demon slayers, it is really just a conflict of will, because most of these characters who have become demons and arguably really strong demons basically gave in. They get into a situation or a circumstance that just makes them want to give up on humanity or just accept their fate. Because on the other side, you see the demon slayers, and I think the best example of will for the demon slayers is actually Rengoku, because when Akaza talks to him and tells him, "I can turn you into a demon, join us, you're so strong," and he says no. That was a massive thing, and in fact in the movie that kind of brought up, because the thing about Demon Slayer is that with every single battle, you see the reality of the choices that they made, especially the first battle, because as you accept the fact that this demon is just so much stronger, so much powerful than a normal human, and even though they're trying their best, ultimately it just feels like it's futile, you have to accept the fact that that is a choice that they made. And when you watch these battles and you feel the emotion, and as a fan you're just holding your breath, hoping that humanity can win in this situation because it's the right thing, you sometimes see that humanity doesn't win, and you understand why some characters have went to that side. And sometimes the wrong choice is arguably the better choice if you want to live long and be powerful, or depending on what you want. But if you want to be righteous, if you want to do things in the right way, then it's arguably picking the weaker option that leaves you the most vulnerable. But yet it's that vulnerability that humanity has that is so powerful, and in a weird way you can kind of see that vulnerability as the sun in a sense. It's this thing that they want to run away from because arguably they couldn't handle it, and as such they took the other option. And that is what Muzan is in that world. He goes around and he finds people who are arguably weak of will, some are forced to, but he looks for people who are broken because of what humanity has done, and as such he makes them betray humanity to join his cause. And as I was watching this film and watching them fight, you had to really understand the differences of the choices that they made, but also kind of just have to live with that choice, because arguably the righter choice is the weaker choice, but you're hoping that somehow you can win against these stronger forces. Throughout the movie, you really feel the vulnerability of the characters, because every single time these characters fought these upper level demons, you could see that there was such a difference in terms of just the physical ability and just how strong they are. Most of the time, that is where I got the element of effort, because you could see that these characters understood that I'm not stronger than you, I'm not faster than you, but I have to find a way to win. If I don't win, it's over. And as such, there's this real desperation within the characters when you watch them fight. And when you're watching them fight, you really feel for them, because you understand that for once when you're watching an anime, these characters are showing you vulnerability, fear, anxiety, because they're fighting these beings that are just generally better and stronger than them. And it's really difficult to watch. And I think that the final battle within the movie, I'm trying my hardest to not spoil but just talk very vaguely, that was the pinnacle of what Demon Slayer is about. It really was a question of will, and ultimately for a character near the end, he had to find out why was he still fighting, why was he still alive. And when he found his reason, something interesting happens, because arguably he could not lose. Because funny enough, this demon who I said most people who have taken the choice of being a demon are weak of will, had the most strongest will. His will was so strong that he even overcame death. and you just had to accept the fact that he might not lose was crazy. But then when you finally see that he comes to his senses after you learn his story, you kind of understand that once he was able to really understand and break down his will and desire to still survive, he kind of realized that there wasn't a point anymore and his existence really didn't matter. And the most craziest part about watching that fight is that you had to accept for the first time within the story, a demon had more will than the humans. And I think that when you leave the cinema, you're left with this very conflicting emotion, because there's one demon who's kind of teaching you a lot of things about humanity and how someone can genuinely want to become a demon because of what humanity has done. But then when you see the other demons and just how disgusting they are, it just makes you still not sure about the choices that they've made. You kind of really don't know who's the monsters, and what I mean by this is that some of these demons genuinely have valid reasons for who they are and why they're monsters or demons, but some of them don't. And I think that Demon Slayer's ability of really being able to show you both sides of the coin is something that people have really downplayed, because everyone's like, the demon's gonna do something bad, then you're gonna learn something about its background story and you're gonna feel bad for it. But the thing is, that is so surface in terms of just understanding the story, because some of these demons, yeah, have sad stories, but some of them don't. I think that with Demon Slayer really expressing itself and showing the deeper meanings within this anime, I think that it's taken this anime to another level of complexity that people are not appreciating yet. A lot of people keep talking about how cool the fights were and whatever, but arguably, for me, I feel like the fights were the second thing. It was really the mental and just the conversations that were had that kind of made you realize what you're watching, added impact into the battles. And I think that the contrast between the first battle and the last battle really will rock you, because at the beginning you're set on your mindset about who are the bad people and how demons are disgusting, but by the end it's totally different. But I hope that more people can watch this movie and really analyze the characters and not just be blinded by the visuals, which are amazing. This is an anime that has a really powerful story to tell, but you need to open your eyes to see it. That's pretty much all I have to say about this movie. It was an awesome... Oh yeah, there was a point near the end where, like, you know, those crows pop up and like tell you who won. Bro, at the cinema, that scared me at the end. Like, no one was there. So like all of a sudden I was like, oh! I was like, what the... Like, I was so scared. But anyway, yeah, that's basically it. Bye.